It doesn't really matter right now. It's been 9 years since my first video. March 16th, 2013. And ever since then, it has been blood, sweat, and mostly tears, trying to, well, I don't really know. Because at first, the plan was to be a big, big YouTuber. Back when YouTube still had stars and all of that. And then it became to, the goal became make something and show the process using YouTube videos and stuff. And then that didn't work. And then it became, you know, it became a bit more desperate and a bit more melancholic. I was like, okay, well, this isn't going to work out for me, but maybe somebody else will see this and learn the right lessons, and they can live out the dream, and I'll have helped in some small way or some small part. And I kept looking and looking and looking for people who had some sort of missing element, something that I lacked, some sort of more happy outlook on things, hopeful for the future, more social, less mental baggage, less issues, less yada yada yada. And what I found was people who like to talk. Now, there's nothing wrong with talking. You have to talk. Words are important. Words have meaning and value and power and all of that other crap. But you want to know what else has words? A podcast. And there are lots of good podcasts. If I wanted nothing but talk, I would have booted up Super Best Friend Cast. That's a good podcast. Trash Taste is another good podcast that I like. Moist Critical has a podcast with lots of talking in it, but they're all people who talk, but they do things other than talk. They're out trying to accomplish things and working towards goals and things like that. And I thought that if I surrounded myself with those types of people, then something from it would happen. Something. But instead, nothing happened. And it's partially my fault. I was trying to give, the benefit of the doubt, and, I didn't want to force people into doing things, because at that point it would defeat the purpose. Like, if I have to push someone to do something, then it's not something that they really want to do. And I'm looking for people who have my sort of passion. But 9 years is a long time to be doing something with no pay, no sort of tangible reward. And at first, I had the excuse of, well, this is just what people with passion are like. I thought it was some sort of trial, like, this is a test to prove that I really want this as bad as I think that I do. If I'm willing to sit through and go through with things for this long and stick to my guns, then eventually things will play out. And it'll just prove that I wanted it that much more than everybody who pretends that they want it or talks about how much they want it but isn't willing to put in the work. But of course, now I feel stupid because there's a mountain of hard work. Even if it's not quality, I still worked hard on everything that I've done up to this point, and I don't have anything to show for it. I don't even know if I'll have the satisfaction of watching somebody else live out my dream. And what I mean by that is I sought out other content creators and other streamers and just people who I thought, I was looking for people who had a similar mindset to me. People who I thought weren't necessarily exactly like me or had the same ideals and goals as me, but somebody close enough that it wouldn't really matter. And I wanted to help them in any way that I possibly could. It wasn't exactly that I wanted them to be VTubers or LewdTubers or YouTubers. It's just that I wanted to find people who were passionate about creating things and somebody who had a message. People who had a message, something to tell, something to teach. And every time that I thought I found somebody, it made me question a lot, because I used to think that I was a pretty good judge of character, and all of the people that I did find are really great people. They're really nice and really awesome. It's just I don't understand them, and it's very clear that they don't understand me. And I get that I might have been too subtle or not quite clear with my intentions or why I was so desperate, but I'm still not going to clarify that because it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. If they have to wonder why I am the way I am, then like they're just not gonna get it. You either get it or you don't. And the reasons why are stupid anyway. Like they're not what's important. The important is getting that message out and sharing that passion and creating and moving forward. That's the important part. Everything else is irrelevant. So I never felt the need to explain. I wonder if this is what a parent feels like when they want to live vicariously through their children or something like that. But I was doing it guilt free because I thought, well, if it's on their passion, then it means that it's something that they want. And I want it for them as much as they want it for themselves, sort of thing. But it doesn't really matter now. There are lots of people who are not going to be very happy with me. And I have absolutely no idea what sort of content I'm going to post or where I'm going to post it moving forward. But I can't keep this up. I can't keep waiting on people. I have to move. I have to keep moving. I have to get past this and cut out the things that don't work for me. So for context, I'm done with live streaming. It's stressful. It's terrible quality, and I hate doing it. And what's finally pushed me over the edge was the other night I tried to do a live stream and it just broke my heart. Technical issues, frame rate, audio was terrible. And then the worst thing on top of all of that is somebody had the nerve to donate money to this dumpster fire stream when I have 9 years of videos and a terrible, terrible live stream is what got the tangible reward. I just couldn't. I couldn't. So there's not going to be any more live streams anymore. To anyone who ever sees this, who watches it through to the end, if you get into content creation, videos or live streams, the second you start to feel like you have to do something with other people, scrap it. Don't don't rely on other people because their passion will never match your passion. It'll either be too much or too little, and either way, it's going to make you feel terrible about the experience, terrible about yourself, and terrible about your work. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. If you can do things with your friends casually, that's fine. That's great. But if you feel like you need to do something with other people, then you don't. And you need to tell yourself that you don't. Because you'll end up wasting a whole lot of time dealing with other people instead of focusing on the things that matter the most. And number one is number one forever. So look out for number one. If you find people who understand that, great. If not, then you need to keep moving. Don't stall for other people because